Hello, welcome back everyone to Guiding Stars. Today our guest is Fadine and she's a first-time mom. She's gonna explore with us and guide us through how her journey went. Hello Fadine, how are
Hi,
you?
how are you? I'm good. How are you?
So tell us about you.
So I am, as you said, a first-time mom to Mateo, my baby boy. He's 4 months old, 4.5.
How was the journey? How did it start? I heard it was in the pandemic time.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I actually found out I was pregnant in November 2019, and it was all happiness and butterflies and everything until Corona hit on in March,
Okay.
February or March in Abu Dhabi. Unfortunately, it was very challenging because, as I was saying, as a first-time mom, there are a lot of things which I didn't know. There are a lot of things which we needed to, let's say, prepare and buy and all that. And because of Corona, I wasn't able to do any of that. So most of my, let's say, baby shopping was online, let's say. And it was challenging. So these are maybe little stuff here and there, but as a first-time mom, they're very special. And for you to be unable to do them fully, it is a bit sad. But we were able to make it up in other things. We were still able to get what we need. And other things were challenging, like the simple things like family gatherings and all that, or having family support around was not something that was fairly possible for us, especially
so you
at the
did
beginning.
it alone with your husband.
I did it alone with my husband. Fortunately, my mother-in-law was close by. We live in the same building, so she was a big help especially during the later months when I become more tired. So she was there. She was helping a lot, but it's still challenging. Like my family was, like even my sisters were in the country, but it was not something that they can come because of the risks and all that. So it was challenging.
Of course, yes, I can imagine. Tell us, how did you find the resource? Did you do some researches, or because as a new mom, you don't know which product to buy, where to go,
Yes.
and how did you manage to?
Corona helped a lot on this because I was at home most of the time and I was working from home. So on my breaks or all that, I was literally on the sofa. So I had so much time to research things. So it wasn't like I was so busy. I was busy in work, but it was at home. So it was juggling between working and whenever I have a break, I could actually search things. I can, like from the same product, I would actually look into different styles, So it was fun. It was fun, but it was all on my phone or on my iPad. So I wasn't physically able to go and get anything or ask questions.
But it's kind of the same now, right? Since everything is online.
It is. It is. This is why it's a bittersweet feeling. It's not unfortunate, and it's not the ideal scenario, but it's something that, like now after a few years, we would talk about it and remember when we had Mateo and we were not able to go get the nursery and blah blah blah. So no, it is something unique, different.
It will be in history.
It
Books and
is.
all. Yeah. So I wanted to ask about during your pregnancy. Did you have any challenges, physically, mentally?
Funny enough, to be very honest with you, physically, my pregnancy was very smooth. It was very easy throughout the 9 months. Alhamdulillah, and it was an easy pregnancy, I would say. Mentally, it was, yes, during the end, when I felt like it's about to happen, like during the last month, 8th and 9th month, yes, things were getting a bit stressful. I've started becoming scared a lot. I wanted natural delivery, but then 2 weeks before, I'm like, I want a C-section. I don't want to do that. My husband knows. It was scary at the end, and especially I did not have my mom around me or anybody there to talk to, and it's our firstborn baby, so we even don't have the experience. So mentally it was challenging and a lot of scared feeling, and you don't know what's coming. Like it's unknown for me. Even as much as you read online, as much as you ask people, every experience is different. So whatever people tell you, deep down, this might not be the situation for you. So
you don't know what to expect.
No. So even if someone told me it's difficult or someone told me it's easy or do C-section, and there's a lot of social what do you call it? Like
social media
influence.
influencer?
Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of influences from outside, like, no, don't do C-section, do it naturally, it's better for you,
People
and
have
all
a lot
that.
of opinion regarding
Yes,
that.
yes, and this was not even helpful.
Of course.
So,
Yeah. So what did you end up doing? C-section?
No, natural delivery.
Okay.
It was natural, and it was even,
It was
alhamdulillah,
good?
it was very
Oh,
smooth. Yeah,
alhamdulillah. Okay, good.
yeah, it was.
So now tell me about your, as a first-time mom, your relationship with your baby. How did it start?
The first أول كام يوم, the first few days.
Yeah, and how did that relationship continue? Like the journey so far?
The journey.
I know it's just been 3 months, but I'm sure you learned so much in it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So the beginning, the first like few days, the first, let's say, first day was, I was still not, like when I look at him, I still can't connect that he's mine. So I still look at him, he's my baby and everything, but like مش مستوعبة. I don't have to say it in English, but I wasn't fully, it didn't hit me yet.
Okay.
After a few days when things became real and then he became real between us, it was very difficult. It was very difficult, again, because of the pandemic, because it was just us, me and my husband. My mother-in-law did help us, but again, 24/7, I'm with the baby and my husband. And there are a lot of things which we don't know, a lot of things like if he's crying, what's wrong with him? You don't know how to decipher any cries yet. You don't know what's wrong with him. Is he hungry or not? So it was very, very challenging. And at many points, like I did have mental breakdowns either with myself or with my husband or with the baby. Like at some point, I just want someone to take the baby just for her. But again, when someone does, I feel guilty.
Of
no,
course.
I should go back.
That's motherhood.
So it was a struggle.
Yeah.
But come, let's say, second, third month, it started becoming like, it's as if I can like describe it, it's as if you're in the middle of the tornado, بعدين you're a bit, I'm still in the tornado. It's not like I'm out of it. Okay. I'm still in the tornado, but I'm a little bit out of the center.
Okay, perfect.
So
that's a nice description.
Because now you know how, you can understand him more. Like if he cries in a certain way, you know what he wants, or you know how you can calm him down or all that. At the beginning, it was very difficult.
So you're kind of learning as he grows.
We're both learning. It's like a lot of things I'm learning with him, and he's teaching me, and I'm teaching him. And as I told you, a lot of outside influences sometimes help, and sometimes they just add stress. Sometimes you just need to shut everything and everybody out and just focus on what makes you happy.
Mm-hmm. You have to listen to your guts.
Yes,
basically.
And what makes you mentally happy or mentally okay. Like if something, deep down it might harm you in the long run, or like a small example, like don't carry your baby, or don't whatever, give him a pacifier, and all these little things. If it makes me okay and it makes him okay, then I learned with time to just shut everybody out. If it makes us happy, just let us be. But it took a while. It took a while for me to actually become strong enough to actually shut them out, or opinions. So, and I think this
good
is
for your mental health, for overall health. Yeah. Well done.
Thank you.
So I heard you're going back to work very soon. Yeah. So what do you expect will happen? Like the change, having a baby and working. So you're going to be a working mom with the child.
So I'm planning to go in 1st of December, inshallah. I'm a person that really loves to work. Even before the baby, I can at some point be a workaholic. So I love work, and I am excited to go back to work. But am I fully excited? Of course not. I am, half of me, more than half, is like attached. Like I don't want to leave him. Like at some point, I can take him with me, or at some point, I can bring the office home. But I think I should learn to just detach so that I can be me and I can stay strong, and then he can be happy with me. But I don't know what to expect. I'm hoping it's going to be a smooth transition. It might not be. So maybe we can catch up later. I can tell you how it was. But inshallah, it will be easy. I need to be strong enough to detach. But again, I can't promise anyone that this can be easy. But let's see.
So, since you're going back to work, what other challenges, other than the attachment and the feeling of separating from your baby, what their feeding or any other things?
Yeah, so
that will
another
affect?
thing which might be a challenge, which I still haven't figured out properly, is the feeding process. I'm exclusively pumping. Breastfeeding was very challenging for me in the beginning. It was something that I wanted to do from the get-go, but me and my baby, we struggled. He was struggling to latch. I was impatient probably with him. He was impatient. He was a very hungry baby, and we were not on the same level, and we were not in sync. So it was very challenging in the beginning, and because he had jaundice, so he had to be feeding regularly and good amounts. So again, breastfeeding was not helping, and I had to give him a bottle for a certain period of time, pumping and giving him through the bottle. So until he got better from jaundice. But after that, when we went back to trying to breastfeed, it was even more challenging. It was challenging in terms of us physically being able to connect with each other, me and my baby, and having this pressure of, you should keep breastfeeding because your milk supply and all that. And this is something which adds stress on you. So at some point you go like, okay, khalas, like if I want to give formula, if I don't want this, just lay off. But this is another thing that was also part of the challenges that I had the first few weeks of giving birth. And it took me time to become strong enough for me to be able to go like, okay, yes, I am breastfeeding, but I want to do it in a different way. I want to just exclusively pump. And this was something else which, after I made this decision, after we discussed it, me and my husband, after we came to this conclusion that خلاص we will exclusively breastfeed, it's like a big weight, like حمل وراح. Yeah, because like now I'm happy, he's happy, fine. I'm not breastfeeding, he's still getting the milk, and whichever way it is, I should be happy because he's happy. خلاص, he's happy. So might it be breastfeeding, or even if I were to give him formula at some point, I was okay with that. But I think deep down my concern was, what will like other people say? Like I'm giving him formula, but I have my actual breast milk. Like yeah, I blocked all that, and when I did, I was 100% much more happier when I blocked everybody. So going back to you're asking me how am I going to do this when I'm working? It's actually something that I should be talking with my managers, like about my break time or my off time. I want to keep exclusively pumping, hopefully. So it's something that I would need to, and I work close by home. So it's something that I can go back probably home, do. I can stock up before one day, which you can easily do when you're breastfeeding. So it is probably challenged, but not as much. I think there's a way around it. And inshallah, as much as I can breastfeed, I will. So
I think in your break you can go.
Yeah. This is what I'm planning to do. But it's funny you ask me because the beginning journey of breastfeeding was not the easiest. And I did meet a lactation consultant, and she did try to help me. And she saw my baby. He was a very impatient baby, and he was screaming for hours and hours and not latching. He doesn't have a problem, but he just doesn't want to latch. He wants the easy way out. At some point, I told the lactation consultant, I don't want. So I told her, now talk to me. How can I exclusively pump? Tell me, how can I store my milk? Like I changed the topic with her. And it's just life became easier after that point. So,
but how do you feel? There's so many benefits for breastfeeding. That's what people always say. I didn't personally breastfeed, but what I've heard a lot that it affects the child. I don't know if it's a myth or a truth. What do you think about it?
Affects the child in what sense?
If you do not breastfeed him, that skin to skin moment. From your experience, did anything like behavior-wise change in your child?
To be honest with you, when I first gave birth, they did not give me the baby to breastfeed directly. Okay. So I don't know if they did. If I were to do that from the get-go, it might have been an easier journey. It might have made this connection between me and my Mateo easier, and he would have latched quicker. I don't know, because I didn't get this, and I don't know why they didn't. And that's another thing. If my mom was with me, maybe she would have told me, try to breastfeed or all that. We didn't do that. Until I breastfed, it was after a few hours after he was born. So we were just skin to skin, but I didn't try to breastfeed him. So this might have affected. Might it have increase this connection between me and him? I don't think so, because I do have a connection with him, and it's strong enough with the bottle or without the bottle. So no, it doesn't matter if you breastfeed or if you formula give your baby. What matters is you're happy as a mom. If you're not happy, he will not be happy. He will sense you're not happy. So whatever way you give him the nutrients, it doesn't matter if it's breast milk, formula. I'm completely against those people who go like,
the connection will be lost and all of that.
No,
Yeah,
by the way, this is something that I
yeah.
was scared of, and I was even telling my husband, and I cried a lot when I wanted to do this transition between breastfeeding and pumping. I felt as a أنا a disappointment إنه I cannot breastfeed وإنه بالbottle like إنه خلاص like let me do form, like it was a lot of things. And what if مثلا he stops connecting with me, and a lot of questions in my head. But then after that, no, he's a happy baby, I'm a happy mom, and this is what matters.
I think the best thing you've done is blocking all the people.
Yeah, but it took time. Yeah, it's not easy.
It took a lot of strength.
Yeah. A lot of ups and downs and downs and downs and downs, but then up. So it was a struggle, but for the next time, or for another pregnant friend or sister or whatnot, I would tell her the same thing. Just block everybody, do what makes you happy. It matters a lot, and it affects a lot me, my relationship with my husband, and with my baby.
So that's your advice to new moms.
That's my number one advice.
Number one,
because when you don't do that, you're not happy. Yeah, and as a mom, you're not happy because nobody's living with your baby 24/7 but you. Yeah, if your mom, even my mom, even if she tells me something, she's not living with me 24/7. Like it might have worked with me when I was a baby with her, but with me, this is what works with my baby. So we're happy. Well, if we're happy, if he is not happy, then I will find another way. But if we're both happy, just خلاص, let us be. And it helped a lot.
That's what matters.
Yeah, that's what matters. So that's my number one advice. Yes.
Very nice. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It was really a pleasure having you today.
Thank you for having me.
And for you expressing your mental and physical and everything, your full journey of motherhood.
Thank you so much for having me.
So thank you everyone for listening. If you feel you have a story about your journey and you want to share it with us, you can always reach out to us to guidingstars.ae. Thank you and have a good day.